What's good, y'all? Listen, look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not
Get your fucking coat back.
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion. And destruction, they must dislike and hate with a passion.
Hello. So lovely to be here. Hello. You know, we gotta wait for this algorithm to get me popping. It's cool. But I do want some people to be in here before I start talking about it, because I want to see who saw the movie, who didn't. Or not really who didn't, but who saw the movie. How you all are doing? Today's Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. I know I usually don't go live in the middle of the week. I think last time I went live, actually I did used to go live in the middle of the week. Wednesday used to be one of my days, but I feel like last time I went live, wasn't that on a Thursday, and I said that then, or on a Tuesday. And I was like, damn, it was a Tuesday. And I was like, dang, I don't ever go live on Tuesdays. I don't think I've ever went live on Tuesdays for real. And that was the first. And now we're here on a Wednesday, reminiscent on what we used to do. Anyways, we're here with it. It's good to be here. Good to see you all. Hope you all have a wonderful day, or having a wonderful day thus far. We've been waiting. LOLZ, stay late. I'm sorry. My bad. I was actually supposed to go live at 6, and I pushed it back like 20 minutes because I wanted to hop on TikTok for a little bit so I could promote it. Have niggas come over here. But then that didn't work out. You know, distractions. Egregious, outrage, everything between. No need to even get into it. But yeah, I ended up popping over here like 5-10 minutes ago. Actually, like 5 minutes ago, for real. Hey y'all. And yeah, now we're on here. So yeah, we're here with it. Sorry about that delay though. That's my fault. But y'all know what we're here for. Trey, hello. ZZ, hello. Zori, hello. Peace to the chat. Y'all know what we're here, man. Y'all, when I say I have been anticipating this film, Sinners, man, I was so excited. I made a TikTok literally just like last week, saying how happy I was, elated. I was seeing so many Black people specifically promote this movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Black people on the grassroots, like promoting the hell out of this movie, talking about giving it reviews. I've seen so many 10 out of 10s. Jesus, I don't think I ever seen this many 10 out of 10s on any movie, not recently, but so many 10 out of 10, so many great reviews, so many people going back to see it. I saw it twice. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am so happy I went back and see it a second time. I actually noticed a couple things I didn't notice the first time. So yeah, I went to go see it twice. Many other people went to go see it twice too, though. It's to the point. It got to a point actually where Ryan Coogler just recently released a thank you letter to all the fans. Like, I think just talking about his appreciation for the support of the film, you know, for especially coming from us, you know what I'm saying? B1, they're not like us, but B1, you know what I'm saying? Black America, Foundation of Black Americans really supporting this film. It was a beautiful thing. He had the little cotton, it was like a cotton stem on the letter. It was real. It was nice. I wish I would have pulled up a picture of it right quick, actually, but it was a nice little sweet ode to the fans who supported that film. But yeah, we got to get into it. And you know what's crazy? Because it's so many. Usually when I walk out of film, the first thing I'm thinking of, or the first couple things I'm thinking of, if it's a good film, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, that was great. I might be focused on the great things for a little bit, but then the critiques is going to get to bothering me. I'm like, yeah, that was good, but damn, why didn't they do it? I wish they would have. Damn, I wish they could have. Why didn't they do it? And it's like a list of things. You know, I'm just dissecting in my head as, you know what I'm saying? Even if I'm saying good things, I'm like, yeah, but they could have. Y'all, when I walked out this movie, first of all, I didn't walk out feeling like how I feel from a regular horror movie. I walked out this movie feeling a mix of emotions. Like, the first time I walked out, I was excited. I was a little sad. I was like self-reflective. I was like riled up. Felt kind of liberated, and just a mix of emotions, kind of just in like distant, because I was just thinking about so many layers of the movie, the heavy layers of this movie. Then the second time I went to go watch it, similar feeling, but I cried. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I cried the second time. I ain't gonna lie, I cried the second time. I was sitting in the seat like, don't do it. I'm not gonna do it. Tears running up. I'm not trying to do it. I'm not gonna. Y'all, this movie is heavy. We about to get into it. This movie is heavy on so many different levels. It's amazing. I mean, the shit is mind-blowing. It's a masterpiece. Let me just start by that. If you don't watch no more of this damn review, that shit is a masterpiece. You need to go see it. Period. That's the best movie in 2025 thus far, for sure. For sure, 100%. That's the best movie. I see why I got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's the best movie in 2025. Hands down. I don't give a damn what the genre is. That's the best movie thus far to come out this year. And I done seen a couple good films. That's the best movie to come out. So it might be the best one of the year. I don't even see how anybody's topping that. I'm gonna be real. I don't see how anybody's going to top that. That ass. That's how phenomenal, like how phenomenally done, how thoroughly that movie was done. I don't see nobody topping that. I think Denzel got another movie coming out this year. Y'all know Denzel movie. I think he only had a few movies before he retired. So every movie he about to pull out about to be fired. But I don't even know if Denzel drop another movie. I don't even know if he could top this. He need to be in the next one if it's going to be a second one. We're going to get into it. Now I'm going to start with this. I'm going to do this a little bit differently because usually I start with things I like and then go into things I dislike. And that's because usually there's the list of things that I dislike outweigh the things that I like. Just being honest. Just being honest. For most movies, you know what I'm saying? Other than the gems like this one, I usually have more of more dislikes to talk about, more critiques against the movie than I have the aspects that I loved about it. With this one though, y'all, I'm looking at my list. Can I share my screen? I don't want y'all to see it because I don't want y'all to see all my points. But y'all, I got like a paragraph for the critiques. When I say I got an essay for the loves, I have damn near a whole essay about the things I loved about this film. I got like a paragraph of critiques. Not many. So I'm going to start with the critiques. I'm going to start with the things I didn't like because there's very few. Thank God. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Man, Oscar worthy performance, directing, writing. Come on. So very few things I dislike. We're going to start with that side first. Okay. How much money it made so far? I don't know. The last time I checked, it said it made $60 million. I feel like from the opening weekend, it made like $60 million, if I'm not mistaken. I'm assuming it's well past that because both times I went, the theater was packed. It was packed. And I seen it in IMAX both times. Remember, mind you, those tickets are a little more expensive than IMAX. I'm just saying. So I seen it at IMAX both times, and both times each theater was filled. The second time I went to a black theater, I mean, there was a lot of black people in the first theater I went to, but it was in Virginia, and it was a little, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of white people, Asians, you know, one of them type, what you call it. But when I went to the one in Oxon Hill, Lord Jesus, I went to the one in Oxon Hill last night. Lord, give me the strength, oh, Jesus. Black people, I love us. Love the movie, showing us, love our culture. But Lord, man, when I say we would not shut the fuck up, God, I'm like, I'm so glad I seen this movie in a theater where niggas knew how to control themselves. Jesus, because it wasn't nobody talking when I seen it the first time. It was barely even a mutter of a couple words. You know what I'm saying? This one, where every time, I mean, it got to a point where niggas is performing. It's like, all right, is this a stand-up or a fucking movie? What are we doing? Okay. Let's pay attention, y'all. Lock in. We supposed to be on code. I'm glad y'all here, but let's actually learn what the message is. Okay. Blowing the shit out of me. Okay, I'm not gonna even lie. That definitely took away from my experience a little bit. All these Negroes in the theater acting like, go inside. And I'm sitting there, it's funny because I already seen it. So these niggas screaming. It is spoilers. Spoilers. I'm sorry. For those of you watching this on Play, like, it's definitely spoilers. I'm definitely talking about the whole movie. If you ain't seen it and you don't want to know the spoilers, stop watching it. Go back, go watch the movie and come back and watch it afterwards. Okay. But when they went outside to drag dude outside who they thought was dead, but they thought the dude was dead inside with the wine, from the wine. And Michael B. Jordan or Smoke and Lil Sammy is standing outside. Niggas burn the whole time. And this is the scene where they notice the Irishmen and the vampires are in a circle dancing, doing like some sort of ritual. And when I tell you, bro, it was like 7 niggas screaming, go back inside. Bro, y'all blowing me, bro. Y'all taking too long. I'm like, nigga, they're not gonna die. Shut the fuck up. Nigga, like, watch the movie. Damn, nigga, they trying to show something else. They not about to die, nigga. You think that the nigga who wouldn't even let the white people ain't gonna die by walking outside, they just gonna let this nigga die that easily. Come on. Lil Sammy is the main character movie. I mean, even without me seeing it, I knew they was about to die right there. I was a little anxious, but I'm like, them niggas ain't about to die. Like, this is not how they gonna have them die. I highly doubt it. Just from the writing of the movie. Like, come on, but they was blowing the shit out of me. I digress. I'm just saying, if you go see it, try to go see it in a theater where there ain't that many people, or if it's some people that act like they got some sense. Okay? All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And even the ones that ain't skinfolk, you gotta be careful. Okay, I'm just saying, so just make sure we got some sense when we up in it. That shit blew the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. That took away from the experience. Anyways, moving on to the dislikes. Moving on to the dislikes, okay? Some of my critiques. The number one thing I have to say, and I have to say this, start with this because this is also one of the reasons why I loved it. And I'm going to get into why I loved it after I talk about why I didn't like it, okay? I didn't like the fact that didn't feel like a horror film. I felt like they marketed it. The way they marketed it, they should have did it differently. Like the way that film, the many layers, it was a musical, it was a drama, it was a romance, it was a suspense. Like I feel like they could have found a better way to market that movie rather than this was some Freddy versus Jason, True Blood. You know what I'm saying? Like it came off. I already knew because of the culture, the time that he put it in, that it was going to be a heavy movie, but just it wasn't scary, to be honest. It just wasn't scary to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was more anxious. I was more like, oh my God. But I wasn't like, oh, like I didn't get jump scared at no point. I was like, oh my God, like that didn't feel like a Jason versus Freddy movie. It didn't feel like a horror film. It didn't feel like a regular scary movie. Let me see. You know what? And this is why, again, I love it because as I'm saying this, it's making me recognize again why I love it. It wasn't that scary, but most horror films aren't scary any day away. Let's just be real. Okay, so the expectation, my expectation for it to be scary wasn't really high in the first place. I just wanted it to be scary because that's how they marketed it. I'm like, okay, is this going to be, I thought the scary factor was going to be a pivotal part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like us being like, oh, you know, like that thought, but it wasn't. That's why I love it. But I thought it was. My expectation was like, okay, this is going to be, let me go ahead prepared to be a little scared. You know what I'm saying? Like they might get one off on me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get that off on me. I'm gonna be real. It wasn't no parts of that movie where I'm like waking up having nightmare. I mean, it's some egregious imagery, but it's not the same as like even like Cabin in the Woods. That movie scared me a few years back. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like similar, comparing it to other horror movies that the few ones that actually that have scared me a little bit. That wasn't up there with them. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't scary. Not in that way. Let me say that because I'm gonna get to why I love it. Why it was a horror in another light. I'm gonna get to that in a second, but just hold on to this part. Just on a surface level, it wasn't really a horror film, but that's not how I would categorize that film. You know what I'm saying? Just off the surface level, I wouldn't categorize that. That wasn't the main of it. Even though it could be argued that it is. Again, dislikes. These are dislikes. Again, these are dislikes and critiques. There's nothing about this movie I absolutely hated or I absolutely wanted to change, to be honest. So even that critique is like, I'm gonna double back on that because I'm about to argue. I'm about to argue myself down on that one. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, it wasn't really a horror film. Wasn't really a horror film. The actress, y'all know I looked up the cast. Okay, great casting, number one by far. But y'all know the sister who played Annie, Smoke's wife. She was like a hoodoo priestess. She's non-FBA. I'm like, if she was from Louisiana in the movie, I'm like, y'all could have found, ain't no way in hell y'all could have found an FBA sister from Louisiana, actress, heavy set joint to play that role. I know they could have found one. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm gonna go back on that too because I think she did a wonderful job. I think she's a great actress. Mind you, this is the same lady who was in Lovecraft Country, who has that show has a very similar theme to this movie. So just the connection there, I'm like, I mean, it could be, you know, it could have been a casting thing, like, you know, they're trying to get the fans, people recognize her. I mean, when I seen her in it, I said, oh damn, she already knew that she was gonna be all right because she was in Lovecraft Country. So I'm like, and this is all she's already done horror, you know, kind of suspect like this is gonna, yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's going to do well in that role, and she did very well. Again, so that's not even something. I wish they would have had an FBA system, but that's not something that's like. I'm not taking points off of that. Sorry, I'm not taking because she did a good ass job. I'm not taking points off. I'm not taking points off of that. That was cool. I mean, I wish they would have had an FBA system, but I ain't taking points off. Majority of the cast was FBA, and they had a non-FBA brother. What's the brother name who plays the drunk uncle? What's the drunk uncle name? Delta Slim. The brother who plays Delta Slim, who's the father in Crooklyn, he's been in a lot of stuff. Okay. I actually thought he was FBA for a long ass time. He got me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was FBA for a long time, but he's not FBA, but he is on code. Okay. He for the culture. Okay. He's played a lot of FBA roles. I'm not mad at him playing the drunk uncle either. And plus he did a wonderful job. Oscar worthy again. top tier performance that brother had in there. So I'm not mad. Again, I can't take points away from that. I can't really take points away from that either. You know what I'm saying? That's just something I didn't like. I wish they would have had an FBA brother, but I'm not mad at it. He did a damn good job. Let me see. The certain accents weren't consistent. Although I did like them. I did like the way everybody sounded overall. I feel like some of it was a little consistent. I thought the Irish dude, I mean, I don't know, he sounded Irish, but on certain words, like he was like, these motherfuckers, like the way, like certain words he would say, it was like the accent would kind of slip or change. I don't know where that actor is from. Maybe he's from the UK, or I mean, I don't know if he's American, whatever, but maybe his own natural accent is what was kind of, you know what I'm saying, altering that a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I liked it, but I feel like I heard some dialect changes. I even kind of heard it with Michael B. Jordan a little bit on certain parts. I feel like it was more with Smoke. Stack sounded a little more city anyways. He talked faster. You know what I'm saying? He had that like kind of Chicago. They said they spent time in Chicago. So he had that more of like the Chicago, like fast talking, you know, even though he was a country boy. So it was like the country version of that. But I feel like with Smoke, where he had to kind of slow it down and like get that draw and, you know, certain parts, I was like, okay, hold up, Michael. What was that? I thought I heard a little, you know, but I'm not taking points off of that either. I'm sorry. Still, it's too much good. We ain't got to the good yet, y'all. It's too much good to outweigh this shit for me to take these points off. But this is just something that I didn't really like. Let me see. I wish it was longer. Nigga, I could have watched 4 hours of this movie. I swear to God. I could have watched 4 hours. They could have put it in two-hour parts, had a little 15-minute intermission in between. I would have came back after 2 hours and for another 2 hours to sit down and watch that film. That film, and that's not even really a critique. That's just, I mean, it was so good. We needed more. Like, we need more. There has to be a second one to that, and it has to be just as good, if not better than this first one. We need more of that story, like 100%. We need more of that story. So that's not even really a critique. That's just like a Ryan, look out for your girl. Please go through another one of them films. Okay. But it was a lot to unpack. You know what I'm saying? And I will say they did a good job of pretty much tying everything together. I love how they tied everything together. Certain things with the Irish and the Italian moms. You're not even thinking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But when the white girl says, it's like, damn, and that goes back to the end, you know? So it's a lot. It was a lot from the spirituality aspects, the music. I mean, it was a lot he packed into this movie. And I just feel like I could have watched it. Like, he could have gave it to me even slower. I could have sat through 3 hours of that. You could have made that a Harry Potter film, brother. Pill. Like, that would have been our version of Harry Potter. Like, that is, I would have sat through every minute, every second if he would have made that joint 3 hours. And I feel like he could have stretched that bitch to 3 hours. Like, for real. That ass. Even with it's keeping it the same way, not even adding no stuff, and just adding context to more things. Man, I would have watched it. But I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at the 2 hours. I was still glad it still felt. And you know what it is? It still felt like the movie was that long. But since, like, you know what? Let me say this like that. It didn't feel like the movie was that long. But it did. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to, like, watching it. When I left the theater, I felt like I still wanted more. Even though I still felt like I watched I still seen a complete sentence. I still seen a complete paragraph, but I wanted the whole essay. You know? Like, I seen a good portion of it, but I want the whole thing. And it just didn't feel like it was complete. That's what it was. That's what I'm looking for. I didn't feel like I didn't finish the story walking out of there. Even though I felt like the movie was over, I felt like the story was still, like, there's more to this story. Oh, God. And I cannot wait. If he goes back, I really hope they get a second movie out of this for real. Because they could, so many ways they can go with the second one. Beautiful. Hey, little sis, B1 to the rest of the family. Thank you. Tell it like it is. How you doing? Peace be one to you, brother. Thank you. So yeah, but definitely I could use more of this movie for sure. Last thing. There was a lot of vulgar language in here. There was a few sex scenes. Okay. A lot of vulgar language though, not gonna lie. And a lot of sexual language, you know, in particular when I'm saying vulgar, you know, there's a couple lines in here, and I'm like, Ryan, hold up. Oh there. All right. Freak come out at night. For real. It was, you know, I mean, hey, that drool scene. Hey. I don't know if y'all seen that. I mean, I'm not mad at those scenes, but the only reason I have a critique for them is because I feel like without those scenes, this is low-key family appropriate. Like, it's low-key like a family movie. It's damn near, or at least like adolescent. Like, adolescents could at least, but honestly, I feel like low-key the family could watch it. You know what I'm saying? With the horror and goriness. I mean, if you want your kids watching that, okay, yeah. But if you allow your kids to watch scary movies like It, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, they could watch this joint, honestly, without, just minus if they didn't have those sex scenes and some of the sexual, language, so much sexual language in there, they low-key could watch it. It's low-key like a family film, you know what I'm saying? Family, it's family appropriate, you know what I'm saying? Let me say that. But at least going down to like 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? Like 15, maybe 14, like middle school, going into high school, they could probably watch this film and be all right, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, even with it though, I'm not gonna lie, I was watching shit like True Blood in high school. I'm sorry, middle school. I was watching True Blood. Wasn't I in middle school? No, I was in high school. I was like 15. True Blood got some egregious shit on there. I'm just saying, they had stuff into that movie and a lot more. So I mean, your kids was watching True Blood, or if they watching anything like True Blood, nigga, they can watch that movie. I'm just saying, hey, I could have watched that movie at 15. Not to say I should have been. I should have been watching True Blood either, but that's just was what it was. Okay. But I could have watched this movie at 15 for sure. I could have watched the movie at 15, 16 for sure. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, that's it. I think that's all the critiques I have. That's it. That's all the critiques. That's everything that I could think of that I didn't really like about the movie. That was it. I don't know if anybody in comments got something else something major that I missed. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, because then maybe I could double back and be like, you know what I did? No. There was one other thing. It was a scene with Stack. And this actually was a critique of mine, but now it's not. The scene with Stack, when the vampires come to the door, and Stack or Smoke is like, nah, they can't come in, Stack is, kind of intrigued. He kind of like, we need that money. You know what I'm saying? So Stack decides to go with his girlfriend, Mary, or his girl, friend, whatever. But the white girl, he decides to go with her, talk to her about it. And she's like, look, I go out there, see what them niggas got. You know what I'm saying? I'm white. They gonna trust me. You know what I'm saying? I can see what they got, and they come back in and report. She give him the gun. I mean, he give her a gun, and she goes out there and talks to him. And that's when she gets turned. So my original problem with that scene, was if he loved and protected this girl so much, mind you, Stack loved and protected this girl so much, then he told her, look, get the hell away from me. Go marry a white man. Go live white and enjoy and access the freedom that I can't. Go have the life that I can't experience. Go have what I cannot have access to under the system of white supremacy. I love you that much that I won't even really subjugate you to what comes with being with me, the experiences that we may have just with you being with me. I won't even, or the danger that may come with that. I don't even want to I love you that much. I thought that was honorable. Like, oh damn, that's what's up. You should have been with a white girl anyway. Hey, but it was happening, so I'm not mad at that either. But the fact that you love her so much, like, that made sense. So when it came to that scene, I automatically thought of that. I'm like, wait a minute. If he love and protect this girl this much, why the hell would he send her out there with just a gun, and you ain't gonna watch her from the door? You ain't gonna step out with the gun, shotgun kind of behind her, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the cup, but they gonna see you. You know what I'm saying? Something. You on the roof? I don't know, something. I'm like, there's no way you just blindly letting this girl go out here, and you're not like, no. I just didn't see that until I thought about it. That was a critique I had. I actually don't have that critique anymore. I changed my mind on that critique, because when you look at the characters when you look at Smoke and Stack in particular, the differences in their character and the way they move, their motivations, I said, oh, that makes a lot more sense. I said, that's why. Okay, and I'm about to get into it. I'm not going to go too far until I get to I circle back the characters and the positives. But I see why. But I don't feel like that anymore. But that was one thing I did think when I walked out the theater the first time. I was like, why the hell he gonna let her go out there with no damn? Come on, bro, what are you doing? Like that, But now I feel differently. I thought about it. I saw it the second time. I feel a little different. Okay. Anyways, okay, but yeah, that's all I have for critiques. That's all I have for dislikes. That's all I got. I don't have nothing else. I didn't think of nothing else for dislikes. So let's see. Man, he was with a white woman now. I don't want to see this movie. No, it wasn't a white woman, actually. It was technically a mulatto. And she was a white woman, though. Let's just be real. But she was a white woman who had FBA lineage, ancestry. Her grandfather, or what was it? Her father was half FBA. Was her father or her grandfather? One or the two. But they was half FBA. So she was like some percentage of FBA, but the girl looked white. Okay, she looked like a white girl to a white girl, to be honest. So yeah. But I wasn't mad at that because the mulatto, or the, what do you call it? The biracial experience. You know, it's crazy. I just talked about this with my sister. The biracial experience, just like how we say that the Black American experience is the most unique Black experience you can have on this planet. I feel like a second to that is that the biracials who are distinctly Black American and white American also have a unique experience in this country and worldwide, to be honest, but particularly in this country. I don't think it's the same as when you get a Hispanic and a Black American, or Asian and a Black American, or whoever the hell else in a Black American. A white American and a Black American, that experience, that lens of which they live through, especially if they look white like this woman, is a little different, a lot different than other groups who mix. You know what I'm saying? That it's a lot different. So I'm not mad at all. That's another layer of the Black American experience that many of us had to go through. Many of my great grandmother was white passing. My great grandmother looked like a white woman from what I know. I haven't seen a picture of her. What they told me, she looked like a white woman. My grandmother was very light skinned. She wasn't white passing. She looked like a Black woman, but she was very light. Some of her sisters are very light. Some are very dark. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? My grandfather, matter of fact, my grandfather, who's my grandmother's husband, he was a fucking mulatto. They didn't even know he was a white man until he had Black babies. This nigga was walking around pretending to be a white, I don't know if he knew he was a white man or knew he was a Black man, but nigga, didn't nobody else that he knew he was Black until he started having Black babies, and then he had to move to the Black side of DC, literally. So I'm like, even my family lineage can relate to that experience, that particular experience. You know what's great? Like, it's insane. So what I'm saying is, I like the fact that that was just another extra added layer to talk about our culture and our experience. I'm not mad at it. So I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. This wasn't a Snow Bunny promotion type film. You know what I'm saying? That's not the message they was trying to do with this. It was actually a warning, to be real. So yeah, which is another positive about it that I like. So yeah, let's get into the things that I like. Let's get into the things that I like. They don't get hot. Yeah, hold on. I need a fan. Yeah. Whew, Jesus Christ. My bad, y'all. With them veins. Hey, look, the FBA. With them veins. With them veins. You know, I got an FBA culture popping. Even my fan is fucked up. We ain't gonna. I had this fan for a few years though. We ain't gonna. Anybody gonna judge me? Let me at. Anyway. So FBA culture, things that I like. Of course, the most blatant thing about this movie that I think everybody loved and was attracted to, it was just the most obvious thing to love about the movie is the FBA culture. Okay, the lineage, just the theme, us being set the fact that he put it inside the 30s, the fact that he put it inside Mississippi, you know, the fact that he has an all-Black cast, most of the cast at least is FBA. You know, it's like the culture, even the wardrobe, the writing, the direct, like there were so many, so it was so heavily enriched with our culture. So much to the point where when they had that juke scene, they sitting there at the juke scene, when they're doing the juke scene, they showing the brother play, and you know, we get the shot of the white supremacist vampire. That's really what it is, or the vampire, the demon, the devil. When we get the shot of the devil looking at them in the house, I'm sitting there like, damn, don't that look like this? I'm looking at the juke like, man, this nigga's a genius. I said, ain't no way he didn't look at this and not get inspired. This looks like the juke that they were in. This looks like the juke joint that they was in. I'm like, it's just beautiful. I mean, from the wardrobe, from the colors. Down to the colors. Look at the colors and then think about that movie. Think about the feel, the lighting that they used. Like, it's like, damn, it's like he wanted us to watch it and be reminded of our grandmother, be reminded of going to your cousin's house down south, or reminded of the things your grandmother used to say to you, or walking into your grandma's room, or what. It just, it's like it gives you a feeling of like an ancestral feeling, or like a familiar feeling. You know what I'm saying? Just the picture of the movie. This is what popped up in my head. This is the first image that popped in my head when I walked out of that movie. I said, damn, wow, this reminds me of that picture, bro. Shout out to Ernie Barnes. This is called the Sugar Shack. And I'm sure most Black Americans grew up seeing this damn picture. So it's no coincidence. You know how many times, you know how many people's houses this picture is in? And not only this one, it's similar ones that are like this one. But same idea. Like, this had to be, he had to pull some inspiration, even if it wasn't on purpose. There was inspiration pulled from this. It just, the feel of it just feels like he brought this to life. It's beautiful in a horrific way, but it's beautiful, for sure. Let me see. Now they had some things in here. Of course, we love the fact that the culture was on display. But y'all know we delineate. Y'all know that we know who we are as a people, and we are shouting it loud and clear, and we pointing out those who are not like us, okay, and getting rid of these tethers, okay, exposing these tethers that's been acting like they are us and that. I like the way he had he put in there that we are Native Black Americans, that we are indigenous to this land. I like how he slid that in there. There was a scene when the angel, or not the angel, when the demon comes down, okay, and when he first comes into the shot, it's like he's falling down, which is something I didn't notice the first time I watched. The second time I'm like, hold up, okay, all right, but yeah. First time I watched it, I'm like, okay, I didn't realize that when he comes into the frame, he's falling down, or whatever, right? Kind of like a fallen angel, huh? But he goes to the door, and the lady, he's like, oh, please. He starts lying to try to get this white supremacist couple to let him in the house because he's being chased. So he gets the lying like, yeah, the Indians, they got me. They got my wife. Yeah, it's so bad. Like, they got my wife. I ran. I'm such a coward. I feel so bad. You can have all this money that I have. I just need to get away from the Indians. And the white supremacist woman is like, she's holding a gun to him. And she's like, Indians? You sure it wasn't some light niggas? I said, oh, right. So you can't tell the difference. I said, oh, so you can't tell it. They can't tell the difference because okay. I said, all right, okay. So, right, you ain't even gotta do too much. You ain't even gotta do too much because that right there, you saying it pretty. I love that. And this is why, let me get into, no, let me not do that. I'm not gonna jump around because that just made me want to talk about another aspect, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that yet. Well, let me say this before I continue. The reasons why I love this film, so many positive things that came from this film. This is why I believe that this is the greatest, or this was a tremendous bait and switch. Because the way that they marketed this film, you would think that we're coming here like what I wanted to get from this movie was horror. What I wanted to get from this movie was being scared. I wanted to be scared, but I wasn't scared when I walked out that movie. I was actually liberated. I actually was proud. I actually felt excited. I felt more ready for war, if anything, than scared. But the way that they market it, and this is why this is a bait and switch, because I believe that Ryan Coogler strategically did this to get under the noses of the white supremacists, the white execs that he had to be under to make this movie. I think he had to, in order to get this to release and for this to be as big as it is, I think he had to codify it. And that's why it's such a masterful bait and switch, because I went into this thinking we wanted to be scared, Ryan. Well, we didn't get scared. No, he showed us the horrors of our realities, the horrors of living within Black America and what our ancestors had to go through and what we still go through. Of course. So it was a horror in that sense. But that's why I had to say earlier, yes, actually it was a horror, but it wasn't scary. But it wasn't meant to be scary. It was meant to expose the horrors of which we go through. So it wasn't meant to and show you the ways in which we can combat that. So it really wasn't meant to scare you. It was meant to make you think. It was meant to liberate you. It was meant to send you a message, and not a scary message. So it's like the duality, the genius within that, the genius, and even having because I actually seen the video of this Native woman who was like, oh yeah, I wish there was more Native representation in the movie, and it's like, I'm so glad it's going over y'all heads. It was plenty of Native representation, plenty of indigenous representation in that movie, but it went over your head, just like it probably went under the white exec's nose. Oh yeah, he got Indians in there, he got black people. Yeah, they gonna know the difference. There's niggas in there and there's white people and this Indians, they got Asian. Yeah, they gonna know the difference. They gonna But because on face value, if you're not paying attention, you might not catch that or catch some of the other things that I'm about to get into, but you might not catch. And I was like, man, this is a great. And I feel like even bait and switch is a little, I don't know, maybe Trojan horse, but this was definitely not. It was a slick way of doing it. The way he did this was such a slick way of interpreting a message and using their tools to get away with it. Like, oh my God. The shit is genius, man. The shit's genius. So anyways, so yeah, I like that part of the party shit with it, where they did the nod to us being indigenous here. Let me see. You know what? Again, going back to the Indians. Now, during this scene, the wife ended up believing him and letting him in. Okay, he ends up giving her coins, some gold coins, and she lets the vampire in the house. So the vampire, so when the vampire goes in the house and the wife reopens the door, the Indians are here. Now the Indians are knocking at her door, or the natives, they're knocking at her door. And they're like, look, man, hey, the sun about to go down. We ain't really got that much time. If you let that nigga up in there, y'all about to be short. So you either let him out or we about this noise. And the lady is like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he basically said, God be with you, deuces. We about this bit. They ain't got time. So, and I wasn't mad at that to a degree, because they was leaving white people hanging. So, hey, you're right. It is what it is. You let them in, yeah, whatever. Get them out. It's your problem now. But I will say, I do think it shows. I think that was a bit of a subliminal message of showing the lack of allyship there, or the yeah, let me go with that. The lack of allyship there. Because had they shot that woman, said fuck it, shot that woman, or took the gun from her, you know what I'm saying? Shot the dude and ran up in there and shot that nigga, or found a way for him to get out within that next couple minutes, then we wouldn't even have a movie. If they would have killed him, we wouldn't have a movie. We wouldn't have Stack will still be alive. We don't have none of these problems. Well, actually, we still have a movie because they still got to worry about the Italian mob and the Irish niggas and the KKK. So we still got a movie. Again, layers. But we don't have that issue. We don't have supernatural fucking problems. At least not this guy. It might have been something else that he conjured up later. It's when he was playing. But we wouldn't have had this specific issue. Okay. So I do think they was, I think that was I don't think he did that on accident. Like, yeah, he let him in. They let him. They chased them down, but then, basically said fuck everybody else except for their tribe, because they knew that them vampires was going to turn them and then go on the loose. But they were just worried about getting back to them people. They weren't worried about, the thousands of fucking people that them vampires was going to have access to. They was worried about getting back to their people. They say, look, you ain't trying to bet we out. So, you know what I'm saying? I felt like he did that. I think that was intentional. You know what I'm saying? The way he put that in there. Let me see. Of course, I loved all the music. I loved the musical performances. Oh my God, the juke scene. The scene when the brother, oh my God, the scene when they're in the juke joint that looks like this, and the brother, oh my God, little Sammy preacher boy, that brother get to singing. I lied to you. No. I lied to you. No. His voice, I'm like, his voice is like butter. I mean, even when he was talking, I'm like, damn, do this little nigga really sound like this? Do he sound like that for real? And then when he started singing over the track, the guards, I said, oh my, it's just, It's just like it captivates you. It pulls you. Oh my God. And then when they start, y'all, this shit is this might be the most complex, like just phenomenal scene I've ever, like well-directed scene I've ever seen in my life. This scene, when they're in a juke joint and this brother gets to sing it, and he gets to a frequency, a God frequency, where he's breaking the spiritual realm. He's breaking the realm. And the ancestors from the past start coming in. The ancestors from the future start coming in. They got the brother on the 80s guitar. They got the brothers rapping. They got the sisters twerking. They got the, y'all, this was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I low-key wanted to cry thinking about that. I low-key wanted to cry seeing that part. I kind of want to cry thinking about it right now. It was so heavy. It was so heavy because when you think about the fact that Preacher Boy comes from a pastor, and it's for his father has been telling him his whole life, hey, brother, you gonna call on the devil, won't follow you home. You keep playing that music. And it's just the idea that that has been put on Black Americans, that our music, our culture is demonic, that praising giving thanks to our ancestors is demonic, that we're calling like all of this has been. And so when he does that, we get to see, and mind you, it's so beautifully done, because this is right before we get he conjures he calls the vampires notice him, because he breaks the realm. So the vampires is able to hear and see him. They've been called to him. But before we get to that beautiful scene of all the ancestors around him, and then they got even the deities. They had one of the deities, I forgot, it's like a tree. I've seen this deity before, specifically. I think it's like an African deity. Somebody give me the name of it. Damn, I wish I would have looked it up. I should have looked it up before. Hold on, let me just see if I can look right quick. Let me just see. Hold up. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. So I feel like if y'all see it, y'all would know exactly what I'm talking about. Because I've seen this image like a lot of times. Damn, what is it called? It's okay. All right, sorry. I ain't about to waste too much time trying to find it. But I've seen that. Papa Legba. No, it's not Papa Legba. It's not Papa Legba. Papa Legba is who Preacher Boy's character is based off of. I like that too. We ain't got there yet. You're going too fast. But Papa Legba is not who I'm talking about. No, it's like an African or like some sort of spiritual like god or deity that I recognized those in all Black. It had like like fringes all over his body. It had like a cone shaped kind of hat. The Zauli. Let me look that up. Is that it? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Hold up. Well, this is similar. Hold up. But let me see. It's all Black though. It wasn't all Black. I seen that particular. Oh, okay. Let me just show this though. This is somewhat what it looked like. Hold up. Somewhat of what it looked like. But I'm like, what is the actual? I mean, what you call it? Let me just look. Let me just show y'all. See, I can see what I'm saying. It was somewhat like this, somewhat dressed like this, but it was all Black, and the crown wasn't like this. The crown was like I don't know how to explain it, like a cone, like a triangle kind of, but it was all fringes and it was all Black. And I've seen that deity before. So yeah, it was a beautiful thing, y'all. We seen that. So we seen the ancestors from the past. We see the ancestors, and then they have the Asian lady in there, and some of her ancestors come in. And I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that was a nod to the Asiatic Black man, the original Asiatic Black man. Shout out to Elijah Muhammad. I don't think, and mind you, Smoke's real name is Elijah. I just put that in. I just thought about that actually. His real name is Elijah. Probably not a coincidence. So yeah, I think that was a nod, another nod to our lineage, though. That's been the Asiatic Black man, but just seeing that was so beautifully done, y'all. I'm trying, even if you see that movie, if you gotta walk out and you're bored, you don't like it, wait to that damn part. That part of the movie, that's probably it might be the best part of the film. I think that is. I'm a statement. That's the best scene in the film. That shit is beautifully shot. Like, I ain't never in my life seen anything so beautifully done. It's amazing. Like, it's literally amazing. Like, seeing the past, oh my God, it was so amazing. It was so spiritually heavy, so spiritually like connecting, like felt like you was in the room almost. Oh my, it was beautiful. You got to see that part of the movie if you don't see nothing else. For sure. Let me see. Juice Winston, let me say I lied to you. Oh, and mind you, just for those who didn't catch, when a boy sings that, actually I ain't gotta say that. That's just some movie stuff I'm thinking about that I kind of catch. It's okay. How music translates. That's another theme. The music, the way that this brother displays our music and how it translates, how it's almost like a separate language, or how it's almost a universal language, how our ability to tap into this vibration, this frequency that connects all, that breaks the realm, like they was talking about, that can bring the past and the past and the future, like that beat, that our beat, our cultural beat, like, you know, it's profound the way he did it. It was so many different ways he displayed that. In so many ways, he showed how it came, where it came from. Not only literally, because they had the elder, the drunk uncle, Delta Slim. They had him deliver a very necessary line, which was, this ain't like that religion they taught us. This homegrown. You know, this music here, these blues, this is homegrown. Very important line to deliver, for sure. But even outside of that, it's like they show it the way he shows it. There's a scene where where they're in a car, and it's the elder, it's Stack, and it's Preacher Boy, and they're in a car, and the elder is telling him, like, yeah, you know, tell him about a brother who got lynched and was castrated. He was like, yeah, you know, they took his manhood off, because, you know, if you don't know, that was a common thing back in slavery in those times. I'm talking about slavery. This was in the 30s. So this was a popular thing. This is something that when they lynched people, castration was very popular as well. Okay, but when they say it in the film, the elder is like, and it goes into a song, and it's like, oh, I wanted to cry. Think about it, make me want to cry. Please, no, I'm not about to get emotional. I'm not getting up here to cry. I'm not gonna cry. No. Give me a second. For real. Jesus. God damn it. There's another reason why I wanted to wait to do this movie, because the movie's so heavy. Ooh. This movie is so heavy, yo. When he started humming. Y'all, let me get myself together. Hold up. I'm not going to cry. Let me get it together. I got to talk about the rest of this film. Hold up. Okay, I'm good. I'm okay. We good. I'm trying to lock in, y'all. My bad, but it's heavy. It's so heavy. Like something so simple like that, the pain that translate through our music. I can't. Woo! I cannot believe this joint got me this emotional. Jesus, the movie is over, girl. It's not real. It's not real, but it is real. That's why I'm having trouble, because it's not real, but it is so real. It's so very real. It's so very real that you can feel it. You can feel it. Like that connection to the ancestors, the connection to our experiences, the pain that we have been through in these last 400 years is such a unique and heavy thing to experience, to be connected to. So much so that even in the simplest things like our music, it bleeds out. It bleeds out even without us trying. That's something like that scene where he was humming. He's humming sadly. He's mourning the loss of his brother and what happened to him. And then that turns into it's like, wow, it's amazing. It's so profound to see that happening, because this is what's been happening. That's why I'm like, it's not real, but it's so real, because this is what happens. This is literally what happens. And then not only just the trauma, not only that frequency, that ability to tap into that frequency, not only from the trauma, but even from our love, from our sensuality, from our sexuality, from the power within us, everything that they taught us that is ungodlike, that is devilish, that is wrong, is where our power lays. Even something as simple as our music. I love the scene where they had they had the brother, another scene at least relating to this is where they had the brother, little Sammy. They had little Sammy up there, giving some. He was giving a little top, the little slobby tobby to one of the female characters in the movie. I told y'all the movie a little raunchy. That one thing, a little okay. He was like, I want to taste you. I said, oh, I want to taste. Woo, woo. She said, I want to go take a shower. He said, nah, you good? I said, oh, okay. But another good scene was when as she's moaning, as he's doing that, as she's moaning, the person outside the door who's performing it's like the crowd out there is the feeling. It's like we're all connected. Oh God, this is so beautiful. They're all connected because as she's moaning, the crowd is getting louder and they're woo, and so they can't even hear what they're doing because they're singing what they're moaning. Like it's shit is genius. They got another thing where the brothers is stopping somebody out. It's somebody that I think somebody's stealing in the juke house. I mean, in the juke joint. Smoke goes back there to confront the person. And when he finally confront him and they, you know what I'm saying, they beat the dude up, they stomping him out. As they stomping him out, they make the beat. The beat goes to them stomping out there to the music. And it's like you can't even hear because they're outside like, hey. Yeah, I'm like, wow. Like when you see it so blatant, it's like, wow, the connection is, this shit is amazing. Like this is so amazingly complicated or complex. Like this is godlike. This is really God. Like this is, and that's why it got me so emotional because it's like, wow, this is really showing the power in just these simple things. This is some powerful shit. This is so powerful. It was so powerful. Oh my God. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, the music aspect, I don't even think the film will be half as good without the music aspect. The music was such a necessary component to this film. Chef's kiss. That brother said, Brian Coogler said he was inspired by his uncle who played blues and he played the banjo, the banjo. Shout out to his ancestors, for real. Which of these are objects used for headwear? What the fuck, man? Yo, TikTok be on bull. What the heck? He said he was he said that he said that he was inspired by his grandfather, but this felt like his grandfather had a hand in this. This felt like the ancestors was on this man's back. They was on his neck, back, hand, everything for this writing this film and directing this film. Because man, that music was that was a pillar. That was a great, like, and some people don't even like musicals. I like musicals. You know, so maybe for some people that was an aspect that they didn't like, but I like musicals, so I didn't mind it at all. But just the fact that I like musicals, just the meaning, the spiritual impact it had, hearing that boy, you know what I'm saying? Somebody take me in your arms, in my arms tonight. And then the devil appears, and it's like, oh, even that part, it all comes together. It's like, oh, because well, your daddy told you the devil gonna follow you home one day with that guitar, right? And now you're sitting here singing about how you lied to your daddy and you're sorry, but you love the blues, and now you want somebody to take you into your arms. Well, if you running from the church, so it ain't Jesus that's about to take you into your arms. So who do you want to take you into your arms? What deities? Who do you want to be taken into their arms other than God's? Because you ain't calling out for God. You calling out for somebody to take you into their arms, and ding, 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 you got one, a vampire. Because that nigga's not only want to try to take you into your arms, that nigga trying to take your powers so he can conjure up other spirit shit. So, yeah, but even in that simple, that was such a, relating it to the church, it was just, man, that was beautifully done. Let me see her, maybe money is a freedom. This idea, the idea of freedom, I love the fact that they question that, you know, because we had the boy, well, the twins' main thing is that they want to be free, you know. And same thing with Preacher Boy, you know. Preacher Boy finds his freedom through his music, you know. Stack and Smoke find their freedom through money and power. Annie, who is Smoke's wife, found her freedom through hoodoo, you know. Annie, Mary, Stack's girlfriend, found her freedom through whiteness. by emphasizing her whiteness. So the theme of freedom, you know, throughout the film, and even the villain being saying that, hey, you can be free. I can set you free. I'm your only choice. I'm your best choice of freedom. You know, all of these different things. I love how they, again, that's another layer. It's just, God damn, this movie. How long is this review about to be? I'm already going on an hour. I'm not even halfway through on my notes. I ain't even got to the characters and Michael B. Jordan yet. We about to get there though. Hopefully we ain't going too much longer. But damn, yeah, it's just so much about this movie. I like it. Sorry. It's so much about this movie that y'all need to know. But even the villain, you know, with his false choice of saying, yeah, you could stay here and be a slave, or you could come with me and be free. When either way, there's constraints on that freedom. There was constraints, or there wasn't, not even constraints, because there aren't constraints on freedom. None of those choices was real freedom. Whether you wanted to choose it by just go through music and ignore the realities of the world, whether that's you want to go live under the system of white supremacy and get your little white privileges, you're still in the system. You're still not free. Whether you just want to chase money, rob niggas, and try to make money and power be your way of freedom, you still ain't free, because you're still a Negro in the South. You're still a Negro in America. Under this system, ain't no freedom. Even with money. Even a black person with money. That ain't the way to freedom either. And if you go with this devil, you're gonna die. And you can't even see the sun no more. Yeah, and your soul will be stuck here. You can't even revisit the ancestors. So yeah, is that freedom? You know, but it's like, and that's why I love that. This is why bait and switch came to my mind, because that idea is horrific. That idea is terrifying. The idea that is the only choices for Black Americans in this country are limited, constraints, farce freedoms. These aren't real. This is not real freedom. This is not the God-given freedom we should have access to. So how do we get it? How do we get it? You know what I'm saying? So I just love that was a reoccurring question throughout the movie. It's questioning, even with them finishing the film and saying at the end, they saying when Preacher Boy grows up. I don't know if y'all seen the second end. I mean the little what you call it at the end. It was like 2 scenes at the end after the credits. I hope y'all stayed to watch both of them. If not, look them up online or something. But the first scene is when Stack comes back with the white girl, and Stack comes back to the white girl, and a Preacher Boy tells them like that was the best night of his life. And Stack replies and is like, yeah, that was the only night that we for a couple hours we actually was free. And so it's like, damn, the idea of what they've been pushing this whole time, it's like, wow, y'all chasing something that y'all had access to unknowingly the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Or in a way that you weren't thinking about it the whole time. You know, that way, just having that night with all of y'all together, sticking together, before them vampires came, y'all having a good time, y'all singing y'all music, y'all spending money with each other, y'all looking out for each other, you protecting each other. That's the idea of freedom, you know, that they really wanted. But they didn't even realize they already had it, because they so pressed to think about, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was a great way to introduce that theme, you know, especially coming from our culture, our lineage, through our lens. The Black American experience is like no other. And it's a very horrifying experience, which is why some Negroes can't come over here and do it. Even the Southerners can't come over here in the dark. So yeah, especially when we're talking about in the 1930s, that is a horrific, to be a Black person, period. And I like the little notes they had throughout there. You know, it was a scene where the vampires come up, when the vampires first come, and they like, one of the girls is like, oh, they gotta freak me out. They give me the heebie-jeebies. And Stack is like, yeah, crackers at night to do that to you. Because yeah, white people at night, especially in the damn 1930s, that would scare the hell out of me too. Because what the hell is y'all doing around these parts after dark? That's the problem. That means y'all probably looking for trouble or trying to get me into trouble. Either way, I don't want no parts. So that's a horrifying reality. Just that. The fact that you don't have access to freedom, or the ways in which you do think you have access, are still egregious. I'm like, man, this brother you do got to see this movie. Our freedom is coming. Don't worry. Oh, for sure. Come on. For sure. I think that was another thing within the movie too. Let me get my little lip gloss right quick. Yeah. Do a little reapply. All right. All right, let me see. What else? Characters. Am I going on the characters now? Characters. So, again, bait and switch. This is why I love this too, because the black man imagery in here, phenomenal. Out of this world. Give me 14 of them immediately. Okay, black man imagery in this film was great. Okay, and I say it's a part of the bait and switch because to the white supremacists looking at this film, they might look at this and see, okay, well, yeah, they got the drunk. Okay, just a little drunk. Got the drunk nigga in there. Okay, you got the soldier. You know what I'm saying? Got the wild card, but he died. So who cares? That's stack the wild card. He's supposed to be like the warrior, even though his brothers, they both soldiers. You know what I'm saying? But he's supposed to have like that warrior spirit. You know, that war, that real quick kind of Aries, you know, Mars energy. You know what I'm saying? Like he has that warrior spirit. He dies first though. You know what I'm saying? So to white supremacist, okay, so the warrior gets all the strong black man downs. Okay, cool, become vampire, whatever. Okay, the white man, I mean, he don't win in the end, but he still get the white woman and the black. Okay, you know, like through a white supremacist lens, they're okay. They think that some of their agenda is still being pushed. Okay, but when you look into the characters, when you look into the details they put into these characters, the elder, Delta Slim, when he first appears on the screen, when we first get introduced to the character, it's like, oh, he's just a little drunk nigga on the side of the street who know how to hum. I mean, who know how to do the harmonica, know how to play some, what you call it. And that's just he's just like the town drunk that people pay, you know what I'm saying, to use when they need him. You know what I'm saying? And he's been going to this bar. This one bar has been one juke joint has been paying him for the last however many years, and because he's good at playing the piano. You know what I'm saying? But he's really just outside of that. He's just the town drunk. Don't nobody really care about him. He always talking shit, whatever. Which is a stereotypical character. They had one of them inside. They cloned Tyrone. But see, he was also the wisest elder in the movie. He also was the preacher boy's guide. You know, he was doing for him what preacher boy's actual father should have been doing. He gave him the game and the consulting he needed to make him to allow him to understand the choice he was making by playing blues. That little monologue they did where he said it was right when they're doing the juke joint spot and the brother is playing, and then the elder comes in. That's why I love the way they did that scene. It was so well done. The elder comes in and speaks as this is all happening, and then they cut to the elder speaking to preacher boy, and he's like, "Hey boy, the gifts we got, it comes with a responsibility. Like we hold power with what we do. We have the power of tapping into an energy that can sway everyone or attract everyone or everything. You know what I'm saying? Not in that particular way, but essentially that's what he's saying to him. Like there's power in these blues. It's trouble in these blues. Things you need to be careful of if you're going to do these blues. You know, but that's not how his father said it. So it's like to have that balance, and even with him having the strict father, you know what I'm saying, who was at church, who, you know what I'm saying, didn't want him to do blues, didn't want him to be wanted him to be on a righteous path, wanted him to stay sharecropping, you know what I'm saying, and stay with his head down and, you know, just hoping for the best and praying. You know, he wanted him to have that, and that was a good representation of the mentality that some black men had then, that black people had then, you know, that you should stick to the church, you believe in God, you pray, you're gonna do right, you just keep hard working and stuff's gonna get better. That was the mentality for some. And it was a low-key, a bit of I seen a lady saying that church, when they walked in that church, they had on all white. And I heard that was some sort of hoodoo ritual. So I'm like, the father may have, I mean, they might double back now in the second movie if we get a second one. But the father might have knew a little more than what he was saying, because not only that, if you think about the ending scene, when the son comes back and his face is literally ripped. You can see it's a monster or something and it clawed his face up. His guitar is halfway broke, literally broken off. And he has blood all over him. So he looks like he's been through something. His father does not react. The church is like, whoa. But his father says, no, come, son. Come in. Please come to God. Drop the guitar. And I love the fact that he was welcoming his son back, you know. But I do think that was telling. It's like, so you do know, because this ain't no way, this thing ain't just got jumped. He don't look like he just got, this look like some weird shit, something crazy just happened to him. It looked like the devil went home with him. But the father knew that. So it's like, what else the father know that he may have not said, but he knew that he was spiritually dealing with? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did he already know about the vampires? Did he already know about, that's something they can go into in the next one. But again, it's just good to see that he threw that in there. That's a great, you know what I'm saying? Usually when you think about spirituality and things of that nature, your mind automatically goes to the woman, which they did have that representation. They had Smoke's wife and be the high priestess, the hoodoo high priestess, which was she did a great job too playing that role. And I love that they have that in there, but it's just seeing that from the other side, seeing the black man deal with that, I like to see it was something different, you know what I'm saying, for me to see. I like that. For sure. So the black man imagery was great. And of course, Stack and Smoke, hello. Stack and Smoke, they were the light and dark representations of God. Smoke was the light representation, that's why he had on blue, and Stack was the dark representation, that's why he had on red. It was the high and low, what do you want to say, call it your higher self and your lower self. That's what it was. They were representing the duality of God, the duality, the balance of God, and that it was so well done. That's again why I had to take back that critique about Stack letting that white woman go out there by herself, because his line of thinking was more of, we need to get this money. We ain't got that much time to get this money, and if we don't get this money, we about to run out of money, and we might have no money to get more money. So we got to get this money. He was on a, like, we needed. He was hungry. That's what he's thinking about. His brother is thinking about the dangers that come with getting that money. He's like, yeah, we need that money from, the white people probably do got money, but the shit that could come with them giving us that money ain't worth it. So let's just work with our people and figure out a way for us to do this. Let's figure out to do this at home. But because, again, that's the light in the dark, which I think is historically accurate, because somebody let the white man in. Somebody made a deal with the white man. Somebody made some deals. Somebody was the middleman. Somebody told them about our culture. Somebody allowed them, and somebody had slept with them. Somebody, that's what happened. That's what's happening. You have black men on both sides, and it's like but you see the divinity in both. You see the God features in both. It's just the balance. It's just one side and the other. It's just the different layers, the complexity of the creator. It's, oh my God, yo. The way he wrote them characters, chef's kiss again. Love it. Let me see. And Smoke. Okay. Now, Smoke and Stack both represented the light and dark. Okay. Masculine. I think Annie and Mary represented the light and dark feminine. Okay. So even like how we got the dark energy, we had the dark masculine. He was the one who's like, yeah, let's go, let's find out what the white people got. Let's get it. The dark feminine is the one who followed the lead, or not even. Did she follow the lead, or was she the one who kind of swayed him? She was actually the one who enticed him to let her go out there to do it. It was her idea, actually. So you had the dark feminine influencing him to go off the guidelines of what the light. The light masculine had already said, which is, don't let them crackers up in here. Don't interact with them crackers. Let them crackers go. She said, to hell with that. Hey, dark masculine, we need this money. So how about I go out there and use my dark feminine energy to go see what they got and get that up off them and bring it back. And to the dark masculine, it's attractive. Yes, because that's my way of getting to my money. But on the other hand, oh my God, y'all, this is crazy. I'm just saying this. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. On the other side of it, Annie, who is Smoke's wife, the light feminine, when she sees the vampires, her reaction is different. She can feel the fact that something's off with them. Even when we get that first shot of the vampires at the door and they start singing, we rob. What is it? What's the song they sing? Rob Miss Sally Clean, or what was that song? I wrote it down. What was that damn song they sung? It's like, pick them clean, or pick Miss Honey and clean. So they're singing a song about robbing somebody. Okay, mind you, they sing it like this. We picked Robin clean. Pick poor Robin clean. That's what it is. Pick poor Robin clean. We picked poor Robin. We picked poor Robin clean. You robbed a nigga. Okay. They're saying this with a smile on their face. This is another layer of the music aspect that I love, because that's the idea of the white supremacists. We smiling. We singing. Y'all know everything's all right? We picked poor Robin clean. But we about to pick you niggas clean dance. No, keep on smiling. Keep dancing. No, we don't mean it like that. No. That is the duality of the white supremacists, is that they will smile in your face and literally stab you or bite you in the neck right after. That is the logic of the white supremacists. That is essentially white supremacy. So it's like for that to be displayed right there, and then we have all four of them of my main characters that I'm talking about. We have the light and dark. We have the light masculine. The light feminine and the light masculine, which is Smoke and then we have the dark feminine and dark masculine, which is Stack and Mary. And the light couple are Weary. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Why the fuck is they singing like that? Even the way Smoke is looking, he's like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, he's looked like he's trying to figure it out. Like, what is this? And Ann looks worried, like, what is that? Something ain't right. But when you look at Stack is kind of smirking. He's like, pit poor Rob clean up. So it just, oh my God, the dualities there. Beautiful to see, even with them. Again, Anne is the one who's like, yeah, no, we don't need to bring them. Though she's in the line in agreement with Smoke. Like, we don't need to bring them in. We definitely don't. Something's wrong. I don't know why they would be down here. Something's wrong. We don't need to let them in. He's right. Smoke's right. So it's like having that balance. Oh God. And then to have the light. I love the fact that they had the light feminine be the phenotypically looking black woman. I love that. The dark-skinned black woman, please. Okay, let it be known. All right. So yes, I love the fact that they chose someone who looked like her to represent that light feminine, to be that to have that strong intuition, you know what I'm saying? And that spiritual connection. She's in tune, so she can just pick up on it, very great writing for the characters. Let me see. Now I seen a lot of people who was mad. A lot of people who was mad about the white girl. A lot of people had problems with the white girl. Okay. They was mad because the white girl in the film apparently is actually a real white girl in real life. But she has the same lineage as the girl in the movie. So her grandmother or great grandfather, whichever, who's half black, is the same way for her in real life. So I was not mad at all that they got a person who fit the description of the character. I'm like, y'all, she's supposed to be white passing with a grandparent that's half black. That's what she is. What the fuck is the problem? So, I thought the girl did a good job. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even hating on the broad. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was. I felt like she came off exactly as what she was supposed to. She came off like a white woman who was trying to fit in black spaces. She came off like even a biracial to a degree who is unaccepting of the fact that you don't belong in all black spaces, or you're not welcome in all black spaces. That entitlement that she had. I actually love that they put I love the way that they wrote her. I think she played it very well, but I love the way that they just wrote the details that they put within her character. The fact that you are so entitled, you are such in your bubble that you will really put everybody else's life at risk to come to that fucking juke joint. Mind you, she's married to a white man. We don't even know what kind. That could be in the next movie. We don't know what kind of white man. He could be a lawyer. He could be a politician. He could be a KKK member. He could be a police officer. He could be a lot of things. We don't know who she's married to. But we know that she's been out of town for 5 days for her mother's funeral. She's supposed to be back home. And by the end of this movie, she ain't going back home because her ass got turned into a vampire. But the fact that you put everybody's lives in danger because of what you want to be with a black man. So damn the fact that he could die for being with you. Damn the fact that you could be putting him and his brother's establishment in trouble because if the white man come up here and see it's a white woman up here, they're going to have problems or questions and want to bring some more white people up here to get them questions answered. So not only are you disregarding the safety of the man you want to be with, his brother, their business, and everybody in the business, you said you don't give a fuck about none of that. I want to be with this black man. So I'm going to take my white, privileged, entitled ass over into this juke joint because he going to be with me whether he like it or not, or whether these niggas in here get killed or not. I said, I love it. I love that. Because not only does it show, again, it exposes the mentalities and really the white supremacist way of thinking that a lot of these white passing, either biracials or white women with African ancestry, however you want to put it, a lot of them have in our spaces, or even white liberals. You can even go far to put that on white liberals. To be honest, they don't even got to be multiracial. They don't even got multiracial lineage. They could just be white and still have some of these same problems. So I love the fact that they put that in there, and the fact that they had the black man in there. The dark energy was attracted to that. Stack was attracted to that. And even though he knew that he shouldn't be with it, he couldn't have her in the way that he wanted to in that setting down south. And during that time, as soon as he got the opportunity to do so, not that he did it, he was turned, but I mean, he was turned not forcefully. Let me say that. But it does make you question if he had the choice, would he would have done it? Would he? Because the way he was viewing freedom and the way in which he viewed power and access to power was a little more, I don't know how else to say it, but darker than his twins. It was a little more twisted than his twins. He could, his way of going about it. That's why I'm like, it represented the high self and the low self, however you want to, the light and the dark. You know what I'm saying? That dark side might choose to try to live on forever. And then he might have to learn that lesson a little later on, because at the end of the movie, he says the only time we was really free was during them damn 4 hours, them couple hours during the juke, during us having that party. So it's like, egregious, beautiful. Let me see. So yeah, I didn't mind the white girl. Didn't mind the white girl at all. I thought she was cool. We needed that. And low key, the fact that Stack ended up with the white girl at that, it's kind of like choose the snow bunny and you choose damnation. Hey, look, you can choose the snow bunny, but you gonna choose damnation. You choose the snow bunny, but you gonna regret it for the rest of your life, quite literally, for the rest of eternity, quite literally. You know what I'm saying? So I think even that was a little bit of a subliminal message. Him ended up with the white girl like that, but them ended up together in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Or in between life, should I say, because their souls hasn't gone. Let me see. The Asian lady. Okay. I love now how I thought how he was going to do this. I kind of figured he would put some Asians in there, and then for some reason I kind of thought we had the Asians in there just as a nod to our ancestry. I thought that's why he would have them in there. But I love the fact that he touched on their anti-blackness. He touched on their lack of allyship. He touched on their wanting to be in proximity to white supremacy. I love that and the way he did it again, he didn't even really have to say it. It wasn't even really said, it was shown. And that's why I love it, because they had a scene. Now, mind you, the Asian lady and her husband both own these two stores, these like convenience stores down south in the Delta. And one side it was for colored people only. The other side, they got a whole other storefront on the other side for white people only, because this is during segregation, okay? So they got a white storefront and they got a black storefront. The Asian woman, that's on purpose, works at the white storefront. The Asian man works at the black one. That's not on accident, right? So when we get to the scene where they're stuck in the juke joint and the Asian husband, the Asian wife, the Asian lady, she's ready to go. This is after Stack gets bit and he's stuck, and they got him locked up in the room, and they like, yo, they trying to figure out what's going on with him. And they just sent everybody else from the party home. The Asian lady is like, look, I don't know what the fuck they got going on, but they said the party's over. So look, hey, we was here to make our money. We need to get up out of here. We got a daughter to get back to, so we need to get up out of here, man. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Mind you, she's saying this as the twin that invited them over. This is the twin that they actually have a business relationship with, at least. This is the twin that they have a relationship with. The twin that you have a relationship with is on the fucking floor dying. He's on the floor dying. And you're more concerned about going home because this ain't got nothing to do with you. And mind you, let me not mistake in the movie, because I don't know, and now I'm thinking about it, I don't know if she knew. I don't know if the door was still closed. If she went in there, I don't know if she seen Stack on the floor. Regardless, you see something's wrong to the point where they had to send everybody home. They need help. And your first instinct is to, hey, look, the money gone, so we gone. That's not on purpose. I mean, that's not on accident. He didn't put that in there on act. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, he did that. He did, because they will be the fuck up out of there. As soon as they ain't got no money, they gone. They want to push this whole bullshit. Oh yeah, and this is why a beta switch, y'all. Beta switch. Because so many people, I just seen a lot of non-FBA people. Let me just say this. A lot of people outside of our culture who don't come from our culture, white or black or whatever the hell else, they didn't see this movie the way we saw this movie. And that's why it's a bait and switch. A lot of them didn't see that movie. That's why I don't even know if bait and switch is the right word for it. But it was like a cover up for the real movie, because I've seen people looking at that scene, the juke scene where they're going in a circle and people like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful to see all of these POCs. POCs? Hold up, what? POCs? That ain't what this fucking movie about. That ain't what the scene is about. POCs. Oh yeah, it's so great seeing all these POCs and just people of different ethnic backgrounds come together as this melting pot. Come together and make this melting pot that is America, and that's what we built America off, is this melting pot. And it's like, no, the fuck we didn't. And we know that. If you're a Black American from this culture, you know that. This was never no fucking melting pot. We know that. And it's amazing the way that they did this, y'all. This brother's so heavy, because we know it's not a melting pot. We've been buying from the Asians. Yeah. The Asians don't want to do business with us when we're in ownership. They want to do business with us when we're in subjugation. They want to take from us. They want to exploit. I seen a little documentary where they was like, yeah, Asians just came on down, during segregation, and it was just like a little third lane for us to go in, because there were whites, there were blacks, but Asians was right in the middle. It was like, hey, we can serve both of you. We're not either one. And it's like, yeah, y'all slid in as a buffer class of white supremacists. Yeah, you slid in and took over our businesses. You took over our land. You slid in and took over our spaces. And it made us buy from you. Yeah, we couldn't buy from the white supremacists. Yeah, the white supremacists locked it out. But y'all wasn't over here just selling us just off the strength of your heart. You wasn't over here just selling to us just off your moral compass. That's bullshit. You were selling to us because we had money. And that's all y'all really give a fuck about, is the money. That's all y'all really cared about, was making sure y'all was getting. But as soon as that money gets to going, or you think you're losing something from it, then your real intentions come out. Your real mentality comes out. Because y'all don't think do y'all think it's a coincidence that he had the Asian lady who owns the storefront be the one who called all the vampires in? Mind you, these are all the vampires outside. All they need is one invitation. And this Asian lady can't control herself. She can't control herself for 15 minutes. She had to sit there and call. She called all of them people in there because of the thoughts of her daughter, her family. She said, fuck y'all family. Fuck all the people that's standing right beside me. Fuck all the people that's actively trying to protect me right now. Fuck all y'all families. My family is in danger. He just threatened my daughter. So now I gotta go make sure I go kill my family to make sure my family don't hurt the rest of my family. That's all it was tunnel vision. Because she don't give a fuck about the black life. The money is gone. Remember, the party's over. She don't give a fuck now. Now she can really be honest. I don't give a damn about you niggas. I need to make sure my family is good. Long as we good, that's all I care about. That's all she cared about. No matter how much she did for Stack, how much she paid her on the table to fix people up and all this other shit and work with them and buy liquor from her and all, didn't matter. Didn't matter. What mattered was in that moment when it came down to choice over groupthink or versus individuality, she chose individuality over the group because the group was black. That's why. They don't think like when it's a group. If it was Asian, it would have been groupthink. But it's not groupthink when it's black. No, my group is gone. My group, part of my group was outside trying to kill the rest of my group. That's what I'm thinking about. So it's like, even when you put that into context, you have to, that's not a coincidence he did that like that. He had that woman scream. And even when you think about something simple like Latasha Harlins. You think about Latasha Harlins, the history that we have with Asian store owners. Like, think about Latasha Harlins. She was shot by who? An Asian lady, a store owner at that, who thought she was stealing juice. Thought she was stealing some damn juice. So it's like, the purpose of him putting them in there and understanding that them in our spaces is dangerous. Even the ones that want to do business with us is dangerous. We risking our lives. We risking our children's lives. It has already happened. Latasha Harlins, it's already happened. But it's still happening. Just because they've been pushed to be in proximity with us, don't mean they're supposed to be with us. Don't mean that they are with us. Mind you, they was only close to us because they couldn't get closer to the whites. That's it. We was only there by default. If they could only sell the whites and only make all their money off whites and be just as racist as them crackers and get all the privilege and privilege, I promise you they would be. They probably would have been. But no, at the end of the day, the white supremacists know that they ain't white, so you don't get to go inside the white supremacist club with them. But you could be in the buffer class right under. You could be in the one right under them for sure. They ain't got no problem with that. But so I'm glad that but again, the bait is switched because some people didn't pick that up. You had some people who even was like, I seen this Asian dude who was like, I think it's very important that the Asian lady was in there because it shows that, POCs are like allies who are in Black spaces need to learn how to shut the fuck up. Like, it's just so much power in shutting up. And it's like, no, it's so much power in not being there. It's so much power in minding your goddamn business. It's so much power in fighting the oppressors that's actively going against all of us. Instead of worry about us. How about you get with your people and fight back? Why y'all always want to come in? Why the fuck we gotta be the ones? Why you always want to infiltrate our spaces? And it's not by verse. We're not infiltrating Asian or white or Hispanic or whoever the fuck spaces. Damn near not the way y'all doing ours. So again, but bait and switch. That's the message you could have got. Oh, you need to be quiet. You need to listen to. Even with the white liberal, when she was, I've seen people saying like, yeah, I love the messaging of like, saying white liberals need to know their stances, or allies in general. They need to know their place and go by the group. See, the ally, the white woman, she thought she was being an ally by going to go check on the white people, but really she ended up being a danger. But again, it's not that she needed to listen. It's that she didn't need to be there. She literally was not supposed to be there. That's why. That's the real lesson. That's what it really is that they're not supposed to be here. This is supposed to be an all-Black space. And the only reason why it ultimately wasn't is because of the non-Black people that wasn't in there. And mind you, it was only three. It was only 3 non-Black people in that fucking movie. 4, including the villain. 5, 6, including the other 2 henchmen. The only reason why all them Black people died is because of 3 of the non-Black people. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's the fucking message. They shouldn't have been in there in the first place. But see, the white supremacist logic and some of these Negroes, they got anti-Black vitriol or anti-Black programming like many of us do, unfortunately. Some of us won't see it like that. Many of us will still, just because we come from the culture. But those of us particularly that are outside of the culture, the non-FBAs, and those who are non-Black Americans in general, not Black, white people, Asians, whoever, those who look at this film may pick up those of them. Oh yeah, I just need to be quiet in blackface. Oh yeah, I just need to. But those who was looking at this film, who he was trying to reach, like me, I see it. I see you. I see you. They shouldn't have been there. They literally wouldn't. Nobody would have died if they wasn't there. Literally, that was the only reasons. Man, this brother's amazing. Asian lady who could, let me see. Derived from Papa Lev. Okay, Preacher Boy, love Preacher Boy too. Preacher Boy was actually clairaudient. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but he was really, Preacher Boy really was like a medium or something. He was low key like a medium or like a, I don't know what's the word, the best word for it. The best one I can come up with is clairaudient. So it's like you had clairvoyant or a whole bunch of them joints. he has powers that gives him access to hear things, maybe whether that's ancestral or some sort of spirits or demon. Like, he has the power to access the ear. His ear has the power to access things sounds outside of our natural realm. Okay. You peep that on throughout the movie, but a particular scene is when when the Irish villain is going in a circle doing a little Irish dance. And when they out there dragging the dude, and he's the first one to hear it, he hears it before Smoke hears it. He's like, "What is that?" And it catches his attention, and then that's when we see him in the circle doing the little Irish dance thing. So he was clairaudient, to some degree, which also is pretty cool because his father, like I said, I think that if they do a second one, which I hope they do, I'm gonna get into that last. But if they do a second one, that father might have some spiritual powers or like know how to do some spiritual work that got passed down to that boy for sure. We already also know that the guitar he uses was actually the twins' father. We found that out at the end of the film. It's the twins' father whose guitar that was. And apparently their father was an evil man. Okay. So evil to the point that when they try to move to a better city, the mayor of that city said, "Y'all can't stay here because your father was so evil. Y'all got to be evil." You know, that again talks about, I love the generational curses they address. I mean, God, I don't even think I can address everything in this movie. I'm already at 100, an hour and a half. This is going to be the longest line in a long time. Oh my gosh. But as I'm saying things, there's just so much more. The generational curses, that part too. Damn. That is relative to the boy having gifts, though, because his father may have had gifts and now he has gifts. He's clairaudient. Even with the Smoke and Stack, their father, they, from what the mayor said, was wicked, and from what they say, he was wicked. But both of them, you know, found power in two different ways. So was that evilness their father had passed down to them in that way? Was it? Because it don't really feel like it was passed down to Smoke, but it was passed down to Stack. Was the light passed down to Smoke and the darkness passed down to Stack? I mean, so the generational curses they have in there, that was a good little nod they put in there too. Which I love the fact that with Preacher Boy, they had him kind of being, Ryan Coogler talked about this, how they had him being derived from Papa Legba. Now, Papa Legba, it's like an old, I wouldn't say it's, I don't want to say it's not real, but some people believe it's not. I'm gonna say there's a lot of beliefs that Papa Legba was not Papa. What's his real name? Robert Johnson or Robert? What's his real name? Papa Legba's real name. Hold up. What's his real? Yeah, Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson. There was a brother named Robert Johnson. And there's a belief that he went to a crossroads one day. He actually has a couple songs where he's kind of alluding to this as well, talking about his encounters with the devil. But he went to a crossroads and he went into guitar and met the devil. And the devil tuned his guitar in exchange for his soul. But yeah, so it was like before he went to that crossroads, he actually couldn't play for it. It wasn't that good. But after he left that crossroads, he was like the best player in the town. And that's why everybody believed he sold his soul, because he really had went from nothing to being the best, like overnight. So yeah, they saying that his story Preacher Boy's character is based off his story, which makes sense because he do has a guitar. What if the twins' father is Papa Legba, and that's Papa Legba's guitar? I'm just saying it could, because they said it. I mean, they said the character, but I'm like, but the character within the movie does something similar to Papa Legba, where he chooses the music over church. He's choosing the sin over church. So even in that, it's like him going to the church was like representative of him going to the crossroads almost, you know? Or him, maybe that scene at the end, maybe that second scene at the end was maybe that, because he was at the end, he's singing, what song is he singing? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So it's like he's choosing, like he's making the choice in that scene of what I'm picking up is that I'm using my light. I'm gonna let my light shine, and it may come with darkness, but I want my light to shine, so I'm going to take that risk. I'm willing to play with the devil, to dance with the devil in order for my light to shine, because I'm going to use this gift. You know, that's what that last ending scene. That's what. I mean, make sure I stay and watch the whole movie. But that last ending scene, I think that's what that was. And even when he looks up, it's like, is he looking up at a preacher? Is he looking up at God? Is he looking up at the devil that he's making a deal with? You know. So yeah, I love that extra layer they put in there, you know, with Papa Legba, making it kind of bring that, you know, he put a lot of history in here anyways, but that was a nice aspect to put in there. Michael B. Jordan stole this whole performance. Michael B. Jordan, I don't know if he's going to get an Oscar. I know they love to play with black people, and we don't need their punk ass validation no way. But this is Oscar worthy. That brother, when I say after 5-10 minutes of watching that film, I could tell who was who. It was like, oh, that's Smack. That's Stack. I didn't even need the colors no more. I didn't need the blue and the red to tell who was who no more. You could just tell. Even when they was fighting, they had a scene at the end when they're fighting. After Stack gets turned, he's trying to turn his brother. Like, you can't tell. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, you can tell literally. And they both have on white t-shirts. I think Stack has on a black vest though. That's the only difference. But even if they could have looked exactly alike, and I would have been able to tell exactly who was saying who, because they felt different. He felt different even with the women. That's why I'm glad, like, they kind of polarized it. They had the white woman, the phenotypically white-looking woman, then they had the phenotypically black-looking woman. They had the brother who loved to smoke, the brother who was fast-talking, the brother who was... It's like the way that they polarized their personalities was so perfect. It was so easy to digest and understand. Like, okay, so Stack is like this, Smoke is like that. Okay, Stack is more like this, Smoke is like... And it's like, as soon as I thought about that, that's why I had to take that critique away earlier from Stack about allowing a white girl to go out there, because that was his way of thinking. Smoke wouldn't allow it. It's no way in the hell Smoke would have told Andy to go out there for nothing. He was not going to let her go out there, period. But she wouldn't let him go out there either. At least not without his mojo bag, not without some form of protection where they couldn't get his ass. So it's like, but again, the different, it was so, the way he did it, man, Michael B. Jordan, you did a wonderful job. He did a wonderful job acting. That was superb acting. Like, that might have been his best performance ever. Outside of Killmonger, Killmonger was up there too. I'm not gonna lie. Killmonger was definitely my favorite up until this point. But this might be his best acting of his career thus far. This might push him into Denzel hood. He might be out Denzelian, our next Denzel. I'm not gonna lie. This might push him into his Denzelian era. Because this movie, I mean, just side note, we know that boy fine. So I'm just saying, he already got that aspect of Denzel. But then some of the scenes, girl, that Drew thing, girl, when he was, child. I said, oh yeah, I need to see this nigga. I need to see him play something else immediately. This nigga need to be a superhero or something. Egregious, Lord. So yeah, just off that alone, the women is for sure coming to come see it. Whatever the fuck he put out next, women is going to go see that for sure. Okay, that's solidifying the finest. That was a great look. Great look. Not gonna be great look. But still, you know what I'm saying? The acting alone, man, that was a great job, superb. Especially for him to be doing it. That, you know what? My sister said this to me earlier. She said that was the best performance somebody has ever played. Of a twin, like playing like their second self. This is the best somebody has ever played their second self. I don't think I can disagree with that. She might be right. This might be the best. This might be, oh damn, you know, I thought about, yeah, I don't know why the fuck I thought about this afterwards. Oh, why would I do that? Oh my God. What the heck? I don't know why I thought about this. I'm so whatever. I ain't gonna stress it. Anyways, yeah, I was like, I don't know if I can disagree with that. Like, seriously, this might be the best performance somebody has ever put on playing two people. Like, for real. I mean, at least in a long time, definitely for a black man. I'm like, when I think of black man who's played similar characters, I'm thinking about who am I thinking about who played two characters? Who did that? What other black male actor actually did that in a big film? Can y'all tell me if y'all can think of it? I don't really think I can. He did a wonderful job. I think he might be the best to ever done that, to be honest. I'm really trying to think of somebody who did it better. Like Lindsay Lohan and Parent Trap. That ain't cutting it. I'm like, who else did this shit any better than him? Like, he did that so well. I don't know anybody else who's topping that performance. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. Smoke been on guard. No one let him in. Stack bit Smoke wife, the Turner, not the killer. Oh yeah, I thought that was crazy. Stack biting his wife. Oh my, you know what? That's another thing that made me cry. The relationship that this brother did so good, because it felt like they was really twins, man. I'm sitting there, mind you, the second time I watched it with my twin, but the second time I watched it, it felt like it was real. The first time I watched it felt like they was really twins. Like, it really felt like he was mourning for his brother and he's mourning for himself. Like, oh, But you know what? And I think that low key makes it hit a little bit deeper because with twins, we are like a reflection. We come out the fucking womb together. Like we are literally together. Most people come into this earth alone. We are the only people that come into this earth with two of us. Like we do not want to die alone. A lot of twins who twins died first, the other twin died not too long after because we're not used to being alone. We are used to always being two of us, even if we're not together, even if we're separate. We're so used to that energy of always being two. We're not one, we're two. So it's just the experience, the lens, the feelings. It's much more intensified that we have for each other. So it's like seeing that man right there, seeing him at the end rolling, shaking and rolling the J, trying to roll this little cigarette, and I'm like, oh my, and then there's flashbacks to him and his twin. I'm sitting there, oh, like, getting a little emotional thinking about it, but that was so, it's so heartwarming. It's like, you can't even explain it. I can't put into words how that feels. You know what I'm saying? How that feeling you have for, the feeling I have for my twin is like no other. It's not the same. There's no other relationship comparable to it. It feels like you are a part of another person or another person is a part of you. And for him to be able to display that so well by himself, man, that shit had me about to cry. Like, it really had me about to cry. I did cry. It got me emotional right now, but it had me, man. That shit, man, that was so beautiful. That was just so beautiful to witness, man. That was just the action of it. They didn't even have to say it. Just him sitting there with the tremors and the flashbacks and him thinking about it and just knowing how close they were. Us at the time not even realize that he didn't kill his twin. We thinking, so as I'm watching this, I'm getting even more emotional. I'm like, oh my God, he died, bro. He killed Stack. Like, man, he by himself, man. Damn. And it just hit. Oh God, it hit. It hit. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan for that. That was a phenomenal performance, out of this world performance. Let me see. And I like the fact that they had even them representing light and dark. I like that represented overall the reason why the black man is the most fair. The reason why the black man is God. The reason why the black American man in particular tends to be the most revolutionary, tends to have the most impact on the world. It makes sense why that's our man. They showed that perfectly. They showed the light and dark reasons why. Come on, it's just moving on. Ending. I love the ending. We gotta wrap this. We're gonna try to stop it at 2 hours. The ending was great. Okay. It's not a lot of movies I walk out of, and the ending it's not something I can't pick apart. It's not something that I'm like, nah, they could have did this. I didn't like that. They could have switched this. But that ending was so good that I didn't even notice something the first time. The first time I watched that movie, I thought Smoke died. I'm like, damn, that's what made me cry even more. That's what made me feel even more emotional. Because I'm like, damn, he died, bro. Like, and he chose to go be with his family, and that's his way of freedom. Like, he went to go choose to be with his family, with the ancestors. That's not even what he did. He didn't die. So the way that they ended it, Smoke at the ending scene, and that's before I even get to him not dying, Smoke at the ending scene, one of the main things I love is that they didn't leave this out. I love the fact that Smoke went to war with them crackers. He went to war with them crackers. He said, hey, look, if I'm going to get up out of here, y'all going to get the fuck up. Y'all taking some of y'all with me. If I'm going to go, y'all coming with my brother gone. Shit, I'm going to go out like a soldier. Fuck it. We just going to go out like a soldier. We going to kill everybody. I'm going to kill it. I loved that was the payoff we needed in the Nat Turner movie. That was the payoff we needed in the Nat Turner movie. That was the main critique I had for that fucking Nat Turner movie. Was that you seen all of this black trauma and you ain't gonna give us no crack. You ain't gonna give us nobody slaughtering the white supremacists that was just owning all of these slaves. We're not gonna get that. There's no payoff. And so even with this bingo, it's like this brother's on cold. Let me get up off here. Because this block from get me banned from TikTok. So let me get up off it. Let me get a little touchy. I appreciate y'all. Come on over to YouTube. That's the real one. Oh yeah, I got what you call like, but that's my lights. That was cool. The payoff I love the fact, that's why I'm like, this brother is B1, he on code, because mind you, we have in most horror films, the problem with black people being in horror films is that black people die first. That'd be the main thing with horror films, is like, why the fuck the black person always gotta die first? Now, when you have a black horror film, though, it don't really matter if black people die first, because, you know what I mean? Everybody's black, you know, so it's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, if somebody black gotta die, most of the cast is black, somebody black's probably gonna die. So that's not really much of an egregious thing to see as it is with an all white cast, so majority white cast, and then the only 2 black people die. And then they usually die in the most egregious ways at that, you know. So it's like seeing black people go through all of these traumatic things throughout this night. It happens in just one night at that. It's like at the end, you kind of feel like, especially knowing that they still got the KKK coming, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's not on the forefront of your head when the end of the movie comes. But when they start coming back, it's like, oh, okay, I forgot they was coming back. She did say they was going to come back. I mean, the devil did say they was coming back. So it's like the way that they did that. I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What the fuck was I about to say? Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. What was I going with that? Damn, I hate when that happens. That's the only time this happens during this stream. Wow. Yeah, we got to get up off of this 145. That's probably why I'm losing my juice. What the hell is this? No, the payoff. Yeah, I love the fact that they still included that in there, because we just seen 2 hours of black trauma. Okay, we're just seeing black people getting fucked up for these last 2 hours. Okay, so yeah, it would be nice to see the balance, and then the balance be brought in by the black man, the equalizer, the true equalizer. Okay, come in and restore balance. Okay, and get these and serve justice as he should, because the crackers was already guilty. They deserved that regardless. Because remind you, that was a business that KKK group was running. They would literally just rent it out for a night for the black people, and then come and kill their ass in the morning. So the twins wasn't the first victims of this happening to, or they was about to be the first victims. So they deserve that shit regardless. So I love that he threw that in there. Like, he really didn't even have to. He didn't even have to throw it in there. Like, dead ass. And it still would have been a solid film. But the fact that he felt the need to say, nah, you know what? We need to make sure the audience see Michael B. Jordan fucking up them crackers. We need to make sure we see him go to war with them, and go to war by himself. One-man army against 20 crackers, and he killed every last one of them. What? And then at the end, to see right before he get his baby, again, when I'm thinking while I'm watching it the first time, I'm like, oh, he getting his baby. He about to cross over to the ancestral realm. He's about to pass. He got shot right here. Even I'm thinking like the bullet wound right here. He got shot like right here. I'm like, the bullet wound not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't gonna get shot. I don't know why I ain't had my shirt on this whole time. Hold up. Did I like us? Did I like us? Did I like us? You know, I wore this on purpose, the FBA flag, because we okay. Anyways, but what was I about to say? Yeah, the fact that he felt the need to keep that in there, even with the end scene where he's about to grab his baby, and we think he's about to go over to the ancestral realm, and right before he's about to hold the baby, the cracker is like, oh, mind you, this is the last thing. Another powerful tip, another powerful piece of a message brought inside the movie. The last thing the white supremacist says, before Michael B picks up that gun is, wait, I got money. I got money. Oh, I got money. Oh, you got money. Oh, you do. Oh, you do. Because now it don't matter. Now we passed that. Now the level of freedom he's trying to access, he sees is right in front of him. It's right. The freedom he wants access to is his baby and his wife right on the other side of that realm. That's the freedom he wants. He don't give a fuck about that money. That's why as soon as he didn't even have to put it in there. It still would have been great. But I love that he put it in there for emphasis. He said, wait, but I still got money here. Look. Hey, look, nigga, you can get whatever you want. I got money. And he shoot him. He don't even say nothing. He just shoots him. And that's what I love, because and that's why I'm like, y'all, this was such a bait and switch, because it's no way the white supremacists that was over this film understood these messages the way that he was putting them in here. I'm like, this is beautiful. And you know what? It's even better because one of my other favorite movies is Django, and that's from my Quentin Tarantino, which is a little but still, Django's still one of my favorite films. I'm not gonna lie. Django is just a thorough ass movie. It's a good ass movie for similar reasons of this. but not the same because it didn't have a white director. It didn't have a black director like Brian Coogler. It just makes my mind wonder, like, damn, if he would have directed Django, would he have turned that joint up? Like, that was already a bomb ass film, but now it just got me more curious. Like, brother, I hope this ain't your last horror. I hope it ain't your last thriller, your last suspense, your last. Keep going, please. Give us another one of these joints, please. We need it. And I love the fact that the way he wrote this one, because again, it's open-ended, it's low-key open-ended. At the end, going back to Smoke, when he was reaching for his baby, I'm thinking, oh, he's about to die. You know, he shoots the white supremacist, and then he holds the baby. He's like, Papa's here. I'm thinking the white supremacist is about to die. I mean, I'm thinking that Smoke is about to die. Smoke doesn't die. Smoke is very much alive. Because when you look at it, if you look at that scene again, his wife and his baby has on all white. Like angelic, kind of referring back to the hoodoo practice. And I said the church people all had on all white, but they had on all white. That was symbolic. Like they were angelic. They were in the other realm. Smoke had on the same thing. They could have did a quick shot where they showed her. And then when she said, I don't want to get all that smoke on my baby, and it showed him, he could have been dressed in all white, you know? So it's like, but they didn't do that for a reason. He was still had on his clothes. He wasn't dead. He didn't die. Which means if he didn't die, we still got a plot. We still got even if he did die, we would still have a plot because Stack is still a vampire. Now, where they can take this next one, we still got the Italians and we got the Irish. Now, in this movie, they robbed the Italian and the Irish and made them think that they robbed each other. They stole Italian wine and Irish beer. It made them think they robbed each other and then ran to the country to sell it. Now, what if in this second one, the Irishmen and the Italians, maybe they either figure it out or they both end up going down there or they end up clashing and figuring it out, or both of them figure out individually, and now they got two different groups coming towards them. Not only that, coming for them. Not only that, they could use the white woman. The white woman is now a vampire. Mary is now a vampire. So now Mary, they can have a white husband because we don't know nothing about it. I don't think they did that on purpose. I mean, they did it on accident. I think that was very much on purpose. Why they didn't explain or give no context to who her husband was. Because her husband, they could write him as a very powerful man. Now, if he's a very powerful man, if he's a mayor or a senator or something like that, he probably has connections to who? The KKK, if he's not in it himself. Which they could write it like that too. Maybe he is. But if he has connections to the KKK, then maybe in the police, like maybe he's had a police, and he goes looking for his wife. His wife has been in Mississippi for 5 days. She's supposed to be down there for her mother's funeral. She ain't been back. So they could pick it up. They can literally pick this film up right where they left off. They can have the husband coming back and looking for the wife. They can have the mobs coming back and looking for the twins. They can have the KKK, because mind you, all they did was kill one organization. They killed one group. He only killed one group. You think there's not plenty of other organizations that aren't connected? And he was wasn't he supposed to be no, he wasn't supposed to be a policeman. I don't think so, the KKK member. But you don't think there's other KKK members in that group? You don't think the wives of the men in that group aren't going to be like, where the fuck is our husbands at? They said they was going out there to lynch some niggas, and that ain't been back in 5-6 days. So they can easily write in some more white supremacists coming in just to figure out what happened to the other white supremacists. I'm like, there's so many ways they could take this. Even with Lil Sammy, bring him back, Preacher Boy. We see how if he does, maybe he does end up evolving into Papa Legba. We don't know if at the end he's supposed to be Papa Legba. Like I said, I feel he's supposed to be the twins' father. For real. But if that is him, they could show his story. That could relate back to the twins. Maybe the twins don't want him to sell his soul. Or it's so many ways they could go back and finish the story. I need them to go back and do that. I need a part 2. That goes back to my first critique, baby. I needed this movie to be at least 3 hours. For real. This movie needed to be at least 3 hours. And the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, when I figured out, when I was like about 20 minutes into the movie, when I figured out that this movie was all in one night, I was a little pissed off. I said, nigga, no. Oh, why is it all in one night? I mean, it makes sense. Beautifully done. Again, but one night, Ryan, we needed at least 3-4 nights. We needed at least a weekend. You should have gave us 2 nights in a day. Come on, bro. I I'm like, damn, bro. I definitely wanted it to be longer. So yeah, hopefully the next one is longer, and you know what I'm saying, it has everything and finishes this story. Let me see. Let me see. We the way saw the pay up. Okay, so that's everything. White husbands goes to the stack turn. Oh yeah, that could be another thing. Maybe Stack ends up turning Smoke, because we did see Stack in the end. We seen Stack in the end with the white girl, but that don't mean that Smoke's dead. I mean, I don't feel like Smoke wanted to get turned anyways, but maybe he took off his mojo bag. So maybe, you know, in the movie he couldn't bite Stack because of the mojo bag. So maybe in the movie, so maybe in the next movie, because he snatched the mojo bag off, he still got it off. Maybe he goes and turns him at some point, and they end up being twins. Or maybe he end up killing them. It's a lot of ways they could do with that. You know what? That mojo bag just made me think of something. The mojo bag, I wish I would have said this when I was talking about Anne. I love that she was a spiritual protector. You know, again, representing that light feminine energy. She was so in tune, so well versed, so knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? I love that they had that in there. The fact that when she spoke, she was listened to. When she spoke, it was like we knew it was wisdom. Or everybody else in the movie knew it was wisdom coming from her mouth. That was a beautiful thing to say. When she says these are Hanks, or what are they? They Hanks. I think that's what they call them. That's what she thinks they are. Nobody's questioning her. Nobody's like, oh no, that ain't no Hank. That's just a little, ain't nobody, nobody's like, nobody's trying to give her pushback. Even the Asian lady. Even the ones not a part of the culture are like, okay, she know what the fuck she's talking about. It's like, I like that because our ancestors, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, the women in our families, they practice these things. They have spiritual practices that they had, that they were good at, that they used to protect us from spiritual deities and physical. So when she goes on that rant, when she goes on dangers from spiritual or physical dangers. But when she goes on that rant and tells him, when he's like, I don't believe it. Smoke is like, I don't believe in demons and angels and devils and hells and all that. I've been all around. And the scary thing the only power I see is in money. And she like, well, how you know I ain't been putting all these roots down? I ain't been praying on my knees every night. I ain't been doing everything I had to do for the ancestors and doing all of the spiritual work you needed to be done to protect you and your brother. How you know I ain't been doing that? And it's like he don't even question. It's like he knows that she been doing that. That's what she been doing. And then they even show it when somebody tries, when Stack tries to bite him, he can't even bite him because he has on a mojo bracelet. He can't even bite the nigga because he has on the mojo necklace that the divine feminine gave to him for protection. And mind you, she didn't even have one on. She was willing to sacrifice herself. She didn't even have, and I kind of wish they would have had one on her, to be honest, but she didn't even have one on herself. But she knew that she wanted him protected, regardless. Like it was just a beautiful, man, it's a beautiful damn film. I can't get the fuck up off it. We're going on 2 hours, man. I ain't think this damn which calls me this long. I'm sorry. This damn film was so great. It was the best film I've seen in years. This was the best film I've probably seen in I don't know, probably since Django. I'm not gonna lie. This was a good ass. This was a phenomenal film, and I'm gonna give it. And I struggle with this. Damn. I'm still kind of struggling. Am I struggling? I'm gonna give this movie a yeah, I guess the only thing I'm really y'all know what I'm about to give it. I guess a part of me, the only reason I'm like, but I'm just looking at this list. I'm just looking at how long I've been talking. I'm looking at how I'm feeling. And I'm like, man, a part of me don't even feel right. A part of me feel like I don't got a choice but to give this joint a 10 out of 10. A part of me is like, do I really got a choice but to give it a 10 out of 10? The amount of things I just talked about in this film, this joint almost had me about to cry, talking about a fucking movie. I'm about to cry, talking about a movie up here, y'all. That's for real, about to cry. Stuff like that don't, they don't usually get me like that. Even with emotionally heavy movies like this, spiritually heavy, I'm really like, is it logical for me to give it a 9.8? Am I gonna give it a 9.8 for some of the things I didn't like that I didn't hate? It was nothing I hated, but some of the things I just didn't like. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5, 6 things I didn't like? Is that enough points to go down from a 10? I mean, to be unbiased, maybe, I guess, but a 10 kind of feels fair. I mean, how about we settle on? I think I'm gonna just I don't know. A part of me too feels like a 10. I feel like a 10, I'm not going to doubt. I feel like a 10 out of 10 movie, I'm not going to doubt. Like, I'm going to know coming out the movie, that joint, that was a 10. Like, wow. And I kind of felt like that walking out, but I also, that wasn't my first thought. So it's like, so how about we do 9.8? Just because I got to take a little bit of points off for my dislikes, my critiques. But we're going to say 9.8. How about we leave it at 9.8? Let's pray that the 10, the movie I do give it 10 is just as willing. Let's pray it's the second movie. I pray it's the second one. I hope it's the second one, Ryan. Y'all need to get up on it this summer. Start filming right now, tomorrow. Y'all need to get up on it, like, for real. Because honestly, this movie, it was so complex. They could have put this in a limited series. Like, and you know what? And what's crazy about that is that they could have put it in a limited series, but not really, because it wouldn't have been as impactful. It's so grand. Like that scene with them, that juke scene where they got all that, they got the past and the future ancestors. Seeing that on a Hulu screen on my regular TV I think it would have still hit. But man, not like the way it was on that theater. Not like the way, even my sister, she said she watched the film and she loved it. And she said she still wants to go see it in IMAX just because she want to experience the way Ryan Coogler said it. I said, absolutely go. That should mess around and make her cry. She be walking out the door crying just like I. And she watched it in theater. It was just, it needed that grand, display. But just the content, the amount of things, the amount of topics and points and the culture, the parts of our culture he involved in this, he could have for sure made this a limited series if he wanted. This could have been another Lovecraft Country if he wanted it to. This could have been like a Lovecraft Country type series. Judge it like gymnastics. Judge it like gymnastics? How do you judge gymnastics? I don't watch gymnastics. I only watch gymnastics during the Olympics. What are you talking about? Ryan Coogler signed a great deal. He gets full ownership after 25 years. Oh, for real? He gets full ownership of the movie? Oh, he's smart. In 25 years, he could do a 25-year anniversary. He fuck around and come out with don't they do that like an editor's cut or something like that? Like, I don't know. He could probably find a way to make more money off that movie though when it hit the 25-year American anniversary. That brother's smart. And some of the white supremacists have been trying to hate on him, talking about, somebody asked me about how much money he made. Let me look up how much money he made so far. Let me look up some. Let me see it, because at first it was at 60 million. Let me see. What am I looking at? It's another word I want to say for that. Profits. Surges. Oh, they surged past Minecraft. Yes, they made more money than Minecraft. That's what I'm talking about. Hold up. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they surged past. They went past Minecraft. Yeah. Oh, what just happened? Oh, what the hell say? Okay. Let me see. Brand names, not filmmakers or stars, are set to rule the box office these days. But Ryan Coogler's Sinners, led by twin Michael B. Jordan's, proved a bloody exception to modern movie rules, launching with 45.6 million. And ticket sales in the U.S. and Canadian theaters, according to the studio estimates Sunday, Sinners of Warner's Brothers release that cost about $90 million to produce was a bold gamble on originality, albeit with genre elements, and one of the most bankable American directors in Coogler, The Creed, and Black Panther. Oh, this is gonna get to what they making now. Though. Minecraft movie, which Warner Bros. Co-produced with Legendary Pictures. Oh wow! So Minecraft movie is a Warner Brothers production too, but it's amassed $720 million worldwide in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks of release, Pam and Abby, something. Movies have power to transport us. So how much did Sinners make just now? I mean, so far. But Cool and Jordan, whose collaborations stretch back to Fruitvale Station, make up the industry's most potent director-actor duos. Blase, blah. What we get? What are the numbers at? Let me see. Overseas, Sinners face more uphill battle. It collected $15.4 million in 71 international markets. Domestically, Sinners attracted a diverse audience: 38% Black, 35% white, 18% Hispanic, 5% Asian. Before Sinner, do a role, some. Let me see. Cool. Another would be Jordan Peele's No Pool. Okay, 44.3. How much did they make now? Why are they throwing out all these numbers and not showing it how much they made now? Let me see. With final domestic figures being released Monday, its list factors. This can't be right. Estimated ticket sales Friday through Sunday. No, 45 million. That's not right. I don't think that's right. I just seen something that said they made 60 million. How is it back to 45 million? I mean, that's still good. I ain't mad at it, but I thought it was 6. Let me look up something else. Go to another one. Hold up. Because I could have sworn I seen something that said they made 60 million like their opening weekend. So I'm like, what the fuck are they getting 45 million from? And that's the US and that's it overseas. Okay, see here go one. Hold up. Ryan Coogler and star Michael B. Jordan, rated horror thriller Sinners was #1 at the box office over the weekend, earning 48 million domestically. 48 million domestically. It's 63 million globally. Got you. Because I'm like, I know I ain't tripping. Okay, got you. It got 48 million domestically and 63 million globally. Those ticket sales, the biggest debut in post. Wow. It says those ticket sales, the biggest debut in post-pandemic times for an original film, are a testament to Coogler and Jordan's box office bankability. That's the fact. They made the most money off a post-pandemic movie, original post-pandemic movie ever. That's crazy. So thus far, that's crazy. They also proved to Hollywood that the audience will show up for more than just the superhero sequels and time-tested action franchises. Sinners will need to continue a strong run in multiplexes. Hold up, is this what's called? Okay. Sinners will need to continue a strong run to multiplexes to turn a profit. That's because the studio spent 90 million. They're gonna make that back. They probably made that back already. How long is this gonna go? By the end of this weekend, they'll be past 90 million for sure. By the end of this weekend, they'll be at, because that again, the theater's been packed all week. They're gonna be packed this weekend for sure. They're gonna be, if they're already at 63 million, they only got 27 million left to go to get to what you call it. Oh yeah, they're for sure. They're 100% for sure going to make that money back. They're going to break even at least. But I think they're going to make more than 90 million. For sure. They also play Pro Hollywood. Okay, yeah. That's right. So yeah, shout out to the brothers, man. I hope they made it bread, man. Y'all make sure y'all don't bootleg the movie, man. Go watch the damn movie. Go spend a little money. Even if you're going to watch it regular and not spend it on man, go show some love. That's FBA all day. That movie got FBA all day written all over it. I love to see it. We gotta love to see it. We gotta show them we love to see it. Okay, so get on Cole. Go watch that movie, man. Show some love to the black cinema. Okay, we need that. How do they know the racial? How do they know the racial ratio? I'm glad you said that because it said 38% black. I'm like, it should have been like 50% black. What are you talking about? Most black people. Each theater, like I said, the one I went to in Virginia, it was a lot of white people out there, but it was still a lot of black people out there for that to be like a predominantly white area. Ryan Coogler gets a portion of the profits when the Hollywood was struggling in the 70s. The black exploitation movies resurrected them. Always been on black. Absolutely, that's a fact. That's a fact, darling. Yeah, there's a lot of directions they could go with leading up to 1992. Absolutely, and that part leading up to 1992 specifically. The fact that they chose that time to lead up to. That might be a little dig at the next one. Who knows? Maybe they skip farther ahead in the next one. Maybe Smoke does turn into a vampire. I'm just saying. Maybe he do get turned, and then maybe they spend a few years together. Maybe that's. I mean, I don't know. It's so many ways they can go with it. I'm gonna watch it regardless. Well, yeah. So 9.8 out of 10. That's what we at with it. 9.8 out of 10. I think maybe I'm gonna add that to the thumbnail. The rating. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This was a great Emotional roller coaster. Okay. Yeah, I cannot believe that joint really had me choked up like that talking about. I cannot believe that I really did not expect to get choked up talking about that part of the movie. That was insane. Like that was, I'm still on that. Like I can't believe I really got that emotional. That's crazy. Beautiful movie, phenomenal movie. 9.8 out of 10. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, the whole cast. I give you your flowers. This was a beautiful thing. I'm gonna watch it again. I can't wait for it to come out on like streaming so I can just turn. So I can be a movie I just turn on and be able to watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm very, very, very much happy with that, with the end result of that movie. That was such a good feeling to have. Yeah, such a good feeling to have. Shout out to Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, man. It's been good talking to you all, breaking this down. I'm a little tired though. We've been up here for a little minute, so we're gonna get up off of here. We're gonna get up off of here for now. And I'll be back either. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going live with Afro tomorrow. We're doing an update on the brothers who, the two twins that was lynched in Tennessee. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. We're doing an update on that story. So please go over there and subscribe to For the Culture. Make sure y'all check that out tomorrow. We're going to be up doing an update on that story we actually already covered a couple weeks ago. So yeah, y'all let me know about that. Make sure y'all follow me on the gram. Follow me on Gram, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on X, follow me on the Gram. You all appreciate it. Everything else is floating across the screen. All the links are in the bio. All in the description. Follow me on on Instagram, ZZ Rants. Everything else, ZZ Rants. If you want to see me, you want that exclusive, hit Patreon. You want that exclusive, become a member. Okay, appreciate you in advance. Other than that, baby, that's all I got. I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and be one.
We do not play, but I friend. You fuck with the team. Might find your West in the creek. We crossing our T's. We don't never miss it.